My guest today is supposed to be Bob Lambert. He's been on. Oh, there he is. He's been on a show before, way back, I think in June. Hey, he's here. He's here. Whew. Yes, thank you, Bob. We're gonna chat. We're gonna get caught up, and we'll chill. And because it's what we do. Yes, we will. Because this is. I'm waiting for it. The Chat and Chill Show. Here we go. Applause. Not the laughter one. Sometimes I hit the wrong buttons. Imagine that. All right, Bob, I'm going to get you up here. All right. Somewhere. There he is. Here he is. The one, the Bob Lambert. And there's Kathey. She's down here, too. Hey, Kathey, I said you're probably Bob's agent. I'm just saying.
All right. I don't think it's got my picture up there. Let me see here.
Oh, no, but I hear you loud and clear. That's good.
But I don't know why it didn't do the picture.
It's funny being a host or having your own live and going into someone else's live. It's like totally different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everything's different. It's like TikTok makes it complicated for us, but we have to adapt. So,
Yes.
We adapt. Thank you so much for being here. I looked it up a while ago. And everyone, if you could share this out, please and thank you. Hey, Maria, welcome in. Please and thank you because, that's kind of what we have to do right now to get it to go anywhere. Well, thank you so much, Rebecca, for the gifts. June 8th. You were last on June 8th.
Okay. All right.
I kept thinking it was April. And I don't know why I was thinking it was April, but it was June 8th.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, June 8th, you were on the show. And for the people that don't know, some may, and some may not. You're in which time zone?
I'm in Central Time Zone.
I thought so. I started to say it, and I'm like, I better not, because the minute I say something, it'll be wrong. So,
Actually, I'm in a little town called Centerville, Tennessee, which is directly about 50 miles below Nashville.
Right. You were near Nashville, and I remember from our last interview, you're in the town is the home of Minnie Pearl.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
Yes.
fan. Because I said when I went to the Opry once, when little was really little, I got a fan for my grandmother. It was an actual hand fan, and it had her face on it. And we were talking about that. So I remembered that. So there you go.
Kathy has one of those on her refrigerator. Right now.
Yeah. And I don't know what grandma ever did. I don't know what happened to it, but I remember it. She had it for years. When I gave it to her, because I'm like, I don't know what to take to her. And she always liked Minnie Pearl. And I'm like, okay, that's what I took.
There you go.
And it packed well in the suitcase.
Yeah, we have a life-size bronze Minnie Pearl that sits on a park bench here in Centerville. So if you want to have your picture taken with Minnie Pearl, you can come and sit down next to her.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that online. Yes. So that's where he's at, everyone. He's in Tennessee.
On another note, my oldest son, bought her old family place in Centerville, and so he owns where she grew up at.
Oh, wow.
And then on top of that, the night that I got to play the Grand Ole Opera, they put me in the Minnie Pearl suite.
Oh, okay.
Minnie Pearl dressing room, and before I went on, so that was a treat, being she was from my hometown.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Hey, welcome in, everyone. I'm seeing people starting to come in. Thank you. Oh, there's Brody. Welcome in. Chris, Flutter. I'm seeing all kinds of people. Rebecca's here. Yeah, people are coming in. It sounds so different to me because I was upstairs yesterday for a show, and I had different earbuds in,
Mm-hmm.
and it sounds different from the other one with these versus those. And I'm like, hey, Little, welcome in. You made it. Yeah, thank you. So let's get to it. I've been chatting here a little bit. So you're from Tennessee. You're in the Central Time Zone. You live in Minnie Pearl's hometown. So yeah, you're here. Thank you. You have lives here on TikTok. You have, daily, don't you? You're on like twice a day.
Oh, lives.
Lives.
My hearing is old, so
Oh,
Sometimes it's a little hard to hear.
I, I get
Okay,
it.
so I have lives on TikTok. Yeah, I come on, to apologize for everybody because I've been a little hard to find lately. We went through a stomach virus, me and Kathy did, and we were out for about a week. Actually, we were down for 9 days. And so I didn't get to go live, and we had a lot of messages, a lot of people praying and bringing us on, and we got through it. So we got started back now, and I'm a little more fatigued than I was before, but I think that's still getting over some of that. But yes, we go on live to make it just simple. We go on live every morning between 8 and 10 Central Time, and then we're back on between 7 and 9 p.m. Central Time, of course. Did I get that right?
Yeah, Sunday show.
Except for Sundays, and Sundays we just do a morning show.
And there's Kathy. If you heard the voice in the background, there's
Yes.
Kathy. She keeps, if you go to his lives, she keeps him on track. Like she'll read the chat for him, and and sometimes she'll play his whistle. I like that when she plays the whistle. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah.
Does a great job on the whistle, that's
Good
for
evening.
sure. What she does do a lot is she keeps a monitor on the conversations, and I
Yes.
guess other people in lives have the same problem. I'm singing a song, I'm not really paying attention. I'll see a comment, I might
Right.
get half of it read,
The
and
frame.
it scrolls. And she will try to keep caught up on that. And a lot of times I'll come in at the end of the song and I'll see something and I'll comment on it. And she'll be like, no, 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 no. They're talking to themselves. So I think maybe
They
they're
do that
talking to
here.
me, but literally they're talking to somebody else in the conversation. So she helps me keep that straight too.
Yeah, yeah. They do that here too. And now
Yeah.
it's easier when you're hosting. Oh, thank you so much, Flutter. When your phone's being stupid. Oh, sorry, it froze for a second. Because my phone's being, yeah. Anyway, back on track. No, I had to learn that to pay more attention to the chat. And as a host, you can do that. But when you're performing, I get it. It's hard to pay attention. I got a taste of that yesterday when I play a character and
Uh-huh.
she was trying to sing, which, yeah, again, trying is the word. Where's my laugh button? So she was trying to sing, and I was trying to watch the chat and interact with the chat while doing that, and that's hard. So if you were playing an instrument and singing, I get it. That's difficult. So having
Which,
someone,
what happens to me, and I'll ask some of the other musicians on here if it does them, I will literally know the line that I'm singing, and I'll be singing the line, and the next thing I know, what I'm reading is what I'm singing. I'll,
Oh,
I'll interject something I read in the line somewhere or another, and accidentally, then it just kind of everything escalates from there.
oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I could see that.
Yeah, I try
And
not to read them while I'm
yeah,
doing it.
yeah, yeah. So that's why it's helpful to have somebody that can assist to do that. And you're so
Exactly.
fortunate to have somebody that takes that on and does that. But
Kathy's
let's talk about your videos here on TikTok before. Well, I'll have you sing here in a minute because they like that. But your videos, I love the videos where you show the nature and the horses.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I love those. I'm like, oh look, they have horses. Oh, thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you, everyone. The horses, but then you also share part of your oh, they're singing videos as well, but you show like when you were on the Grand Ole Opry and
Mhm.
things like that. And so because we've talked about it. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you again for the gifts. I heard it in my ears. Um, Squirrel. But yeah. Oh, oh! Thank you, everyone. It's a big applause. Hey, kitten, welcome in. Where was I going with that? Squirrel. Uh, yeah. So the Grand Ole, you share those videos, but recently you've had some people trying to copy your username and profile and all that and create accounts. And I have to say, I was a sucker for it too at first. I'm like, is this Bob? Is this Bob? And then I go and I look and it's like not very many followers. And I'm like, oh, in a few videos.
Well,
Oh, he's a
I
victim of the
tried.
scammer.
I tried to address that on the show because I've had
Uh-huh.
some of my personal friends on here that have been reached out to, and one of them happened to be Kathy's cousin, and
Uh-huh.
she knew right off the bat that this guy. So she contacted Kathy, and she says, "Do you want me to mess with him, Kathy?" So they they got the conversation up. This guy's wanting to know her address if she's single, and you know.
Oh,
Oh yeah, all this kind of
We kind
crazy
of
oh
want to know
stuff.
what
my.
they're up
And
to.
it's so, and then I had another friend say that I apparently was down at the feed store and I didn't have enough money to pay for the horse's feed, and would they please cash at me some money? My God, people, that's the idea of the horse videos, to show the people that the horses have feed and the horses are fine, and
Oh,
I just to think people would go, and one thing they use in my name and my face and to do this, but then they use my horses to try to get sympathy, to try to steal money from somebody, and man, that
yeah.
just rubs me the wrong way. I'll tell you,
I definitely.
when I found that
Yeah.
out, I think I wound up canceling the show that night. I got so upset.
Yeah.
But
I understand.
yeah, I do
Yeah.
want to reassure everybody and everybody that's on here right now. I have one account and one account only, and that's it. That's this
We don't even
account
have a
right
backup
here,
account.
and
Right
it's.
here.
I don't have a backup. I don't haven't had a need for a backup. I try not to make people mad and break rules, and they haven't. I've been on this since 2015 with this account, and
Wow.
yeah, and I've never been banned. I've never had any problem with anything like that. And then these things start showing up, these fake accounts, and I contact TikTok, of course, and they said they're not breaking our community guidelines.
I know.
Yeah,
Isn't that
and I'm
awful?
like, what do you have to do to break guy? And then they contacted somebody else and said they needed money for something else, wanted them to send them some what cash cards stuff. So yeah, that's just it's a bunch of
It's
scam.
fraud.
It
It's
Bob,
fraud. It's
it really
fraud.
does.
I don't know why that's not breaking community guidelines.
I
Fraud is
don't
still
either.
fraud.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Hey, another issue, and it's just you may actually know about this, and some of the other people is these people that are reaching out wanting to be your TikTok handler. I guess. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay,
yeah.
I'm being bombarded by
Uh-huh.
that,
I get them too. Believe it or
and
not.
okay. Have you personally made that step?
Oh no. No, 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 no. I don't
All right,
well,
now
first of all,
I've talked to some who have and some who haven't, and I really don't know. I don't understand what they're really offering, um, but I do. I don't know.
you
I
get
don't
more
think that-
attraction if you I know what you're talking about. You'll
Yeah.
get
Okay.
more more your numbers will be higher than
Yeah.
10, 15, and whatever in the room right now.
Yeah.
You'll have but they're not necessarily real people who interact because these people
Well,
right
you know,
here
I had,
are genuine.
I had that one night, and I think it was some of these people kind of showing me what they could do.
Uh-huh. Oh
And,
yeah.
they came into the show, and I had like about 80 or 90 people in there. But you know who was reacting? The same people who
The same
always
people
react. The
because they're
same
the real
10,
ones.
10, 15 people who are family members. And I like to call them families. I don't like, I've never liked the term fan. And that's
Right.
another giveaway
Okay.
for this scammer is he comes on and says, how long have you been a fan of mine? Well, that's something I never say. I would never say that because I'm not really derogatory against it one way or another. I just don't
Yeah.
like it personally.
I get
I
it.
don't
I
like
get it.
to. I like to think of
Interesting.
people as friends and
Yeah.
individual people, but the whole fan and the following thing and all that kind of bugs me. I don't feel like I deserve all that.
Yeah.
I just want
And
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, you're okay. I'm sure you're getting bombarded more than I am because usually a minimum requirement for them is you have to go 20 hours live a month. And I don't. I do 2 hours a week and that's it.
That would be
And
no problem for me. I
yeah,
probably do.
you make that no problem. But a
Mhm.
lot of them want you to battle. I don't battle.
I
Uh,
don't like the battling
no,
either.
no, I think that's just yeah. Don't get me going on that.
Yeah, right.
But yeah. So I do me, but I don't plan on going
Yeah.
anywhere TikTok. So but you do see the people who join those things tend to get bursts every so often, but they got to
Hmm.
play the game, and it's all
Yeah,
about that.
it's a
So
given,
uh-huh.
and everything in life is really,
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
you know,
absolutely. Yeah, definitely. But on that note, I'm looking at the time. They want to hear a song, I'm
they
sure,
want to hear a song.
because we've
Okay.
chatted a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're
What
focused
kind
on the
of
bigger creators. You're right, Lisa. You're right. You're right.
Okay. Well, I've added a bunch of new songs to the show
Oh,
uh,
good.
lately, and this is one of the for a long time. In fact, ever since I've been doing the show, I have been getting a lot of requests. Do a David Allan Coe song. Do a David Allan Coe
Oh,
song.
yes.
Well, I
Yes.
used to play bars, and we did a lot of David Allan Coe songs back then, but they weren't the ones that you want to hear on this platform. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
all right. You know David Allan Coe's history. The other day I ran across this song, and it's a David Allan Coe song, and it doesn't seem to offend anybody. So I'm gonna try to do it for you. Okay? It's called
all right.
Mona Lisa
Let's
Lost
do
Her
it.
Smile.
Okay, everyone. All right.
Mona Lisa lost her smile. Painter's hands are trembling now. If she's out there running wild, it's because I taught her how. Masterpiece we had planned is laying shattered on the ground. Mona Lisa lost her smile. Painter's hands are trembling now. The eyes that used to burn for me no longer look my way. And the love we used to share got lost in yesterday. She feels cold to the touch where there used to burn a flame. Gave too little, took too much. I raised the painter's name. Mona Lisa lost her smile. Painter's hands are trembling now. And if she's out there running wild, it's because I taught her how. The masterpiece we had planned, it's laying shattered on the ground. Mona Lisa lost her smile. Painter's hands are trembling now. Mona Lisa lost her smile. Painter's hands are trembling now.
Woo! Doggies. That was good.
Well, thank
Wow.
you.
That was very nice. Yeah, I had never heard you play that one before. But I
Uh,
bet.
I think that went to number 2 for David Allan Coe way back in the day.
Okay.
I'm not good on years and all, but it was one of his, to me, it's one of his greatest songs.
Yeah, I like that. I've been a little remiss. I haven't been able to hit the lives like I had been. I've been trying to, I've had a lot
Mhm.
of going on in my life with, people and surgeries and stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm starting to get back in the groove of being able to go. So yeah, I caught the tail end of your live the other day, and I heard you say you hadn't been feeling well, and I'm like, he's my guest next week, or they're coming up. I hope he's okay.
You know, I probably would have gotten over it quicker, but I did like the 3-day virus thing, and I
Uh huh.
felt good after 3 days, and well, I don't know if I ought to tell it or not, but I take these injections every two
Uh-huh.
weeks,
Oh,
medical
okay.
thing from the doctor,
Yeah.
and I went in and I thought, well, I'm feeling better, and I ran in and that evening at pharmacy and I got the shot, and it's not a vax, don't none
Oh,
of that.
okay.
I won't get into none of that.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah,
anyway, yeah,
whatever.
yeah. But well, I don't know what's taboo and what's not as far as talking about on here. So, but anyway, it's a medical thing from the doctor,
Yeah.
and anyway, it turns out that when you take this injection for like a day or so, it kind of kicks your immune system in the butt, and then you come right back from it.
Uh-huh.
That's a normal reaction. I didn't know that. Well, my immune system had just got started curing this, and I took that shot and it kicked it right out from under it,
Oh.
and I went back to the start again. So then I had about a week after that. So I had a total of about 9 days, and I won't make that mistake no more.
Yeah, I know. This
I
is
could
that
have
time of
waited
the
about
year.
I could have waited about the other shots, It's like one of those vitamin type things,
Yeah, yeah.
I could have waited about it, and but I thought, oh, well, it's just a good time. I'll run in and get it. I'm feeling better, and I actually thought maybe it might even make me feel better, but I had no idea about that aspect of it. So that's the reason it hit so hard, and I thought I was doing good. I came on and did a show and thought I was over it, and then it hit me again afterwards, and then I was really down. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. But
I know that's and as for, I don't ask personal information from
I
people,
understand.
but
Yeah,
if you volunteer it,
yeah,
it's okay. We flow with it. We go with
yeah.
it. But I don't like to pry into people's personal
Oh,
lives
I
too
understand.
much.
Yeah,
I try
I
to keep it
wasn't.
on music and TikTok
Yes,
and stuff.
yeah,
But sometimes the personal factor does come out. Like we
yes,
had a
yeah,
guest last week, he talked about his transplant. I mean, he brought it
mhm,
up.
yeah,
And we when we went there, we talked about it, and that's okay. So yeah, bringing up personal things is all right. And as for what you were talking about, vaccinations, people. I have friends and family on all sides of that. I mean,
mhm,
literally on all sides of that. And so what I preach here
yeah,
and since on Chat and Chill is to be respectful of everyone.
yeah,
Everyone has their own opinion, whatever it may be. And it's okay. I'm not going to put, but there's a lot of people around my neighborhood who like to put people down if you don't have the same opinion. And I'm
right.
like, you know what? In life, it doesn't always work that way. You know, people have, and sometimes you have to learn to agree to disagree, and it's okay. You
Yeah,
still
yeah.
can coexist.
We'd
And
be in a lot better shape if we
yeah,
don't just
if
say,
we could all do
no,
that,
I
we
don't.
would all be in a better place, wouldn't we?
What I grew up doing, if I didn't like the way something looked, I looked the other way.
Yeah,
That's what you do. Look the other
yeah,
way, unless it was just something you couldn't tolerate. But
yeah.
if it was just something you didn't like, I was never impelled to go over there and tell them how much I didn't like them.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
Oh,
it's
thank you.
what happens is when they come and they shove it in your face.
Thank you so much. Yeah, when they
You
shove it in
know,
your face, I don't like that. So,
yeah,
I
I don't
mean,
either. Nobody does. I'm not trying to shove my lifestyle in their face.
no.
So and that's the only thing. With just people should just be more private. I think about a lot
Yeah,
of things.
and respectful of other people's opinions
Yeah,
and things
exactly.
because you don't always know everyone's backstory.
Oh,
Like,
you don't. You could say you don't always. You never know everybody's
no, no,
backstory.
that's true. You don't know
We're
their
lucky to know
backstory.
our own backstory, to tell you the truth.
Well, there's days. There are days on that too.
Yeah,
But you don't know what people are going through and
that's right.
what they have to manage or deal with on a daily, and there may be a reason why their opinion is a little different than yours because of
Hmm.
their experiences. And
Yeah,
and I don't think we take the time sometimes to show that respect.
right.
And that's just okay, my soapbox for Chat and Chill. We try to be respectful here. That's
Yeah,
all. You know.
respect and accountability.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what. If we could just get those two things back into the world,
We would all be in a better place, wouldn't we?
we sure would. We
Yeah,
sure would.
we would. We
All
definitely would.
right.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. I saw those little hearts going in just a mile a minute while ago. Thank you for making that goal. Thank you so much. Thank you for the 23 souls that are here in this room. Thank you so much for that because we appreciate it so much. Thank you for those likes. And thanks for the comments. Now, it is about halfway through the show, and I do let the chat have an opportunity to ask questions if they're appropriate. I always have to preface that, but these guys are they'll be fine. But some people that were popping in at the beginning of the show, I didn't know their names or their faces, and one didn't even have a profile. I'm like, oh, okay. I looked and they didn't have many followers. I'm like, you might have more followers if you had a profile picture and a name. I'm just saying. But there's that.
Yes.
But so think about it, folks, because I know it takes a little bit to think, and then there's a delay in the chat. And on that note, I would love to hear another song if possible. In fact, I'm going to request the what's the Johnny Cash song? Is it Folsom Prison Blues with the whistle? Is Kathy available to There she is. I hear her laugh.
Well, she got enough air to laugh. She's got enough air to blow that whistle. That's for
Can
sure.
you blow the whistle, honey?
Oh yeah, she can get that whistle. Get her out there, honey.
They're gonna love this, folks. This is hilarious.
I always like to preference a Johnny Cash song with bragging about the fact that I did get to shake his hand.
Oh yeah. Some people haven't heard this story. You have to hear it.
And I'll try to make it as quick as possible.
Oh no, you want to take time. Take time. We got time.
We were down at a craft store. The year was 1977. It's me and my first wife, Sandra. And she loved to do macrame. She loved to make those owls. I think y'all remember those owls that had the bead eyes and they plucked it all up. She was really talented with that stuff. She loved to tie them little knots and do all that stuff. It would aggravate the heck out of me, but she loved it. So we were down at the store picking up the supplies for that. And looked across the room, and lo and behold, there stood Johnny Cash, standing there at the counter, just big as the moon. And he had done bought 2 big grocery sacks full of this stuff. I guess he was carrying it home to June. And I nudged my wife because I knew she was a big Johnny Cash fan. And I didn't know how big until that day, but I nudged her and I said, "Hey, honey, there's Johnny Cash." Well, he was incognito and he heard me say it. So when he did, he took his hat and he kind of tipped his head and turned it a little away from her, and she just glanced up. She said, "Oh, it is not," and went right back to what she was doing. Well, about that time, he stepped up to the counter, and he could have disguised his outweigh the way he looked, but he couldn't disguise that voice. And he went to speak, and his might as well been said, "Hello, I'm Johnny Cash." Because she come unglued, she like to knock me down, running past me up to the front of the store, and she managed to get between him and the door. And she proceeded to block him from going out the door until she got an autograph. She had to have an autograph. And now keep in mind, this was mostly a shy woman. We've been married about 3 years at this point, and she was a pretty shy woman, but she wasn't then. And she jumping up and down like a fan would do, and acting crazy. And he finally, with just as calm a voice as he could, he looked out over his 2 bags he was holding in his hands, and he said, "Ma'am, if you'll let me lay my bags down, I'll be glad to give you an autograph." She come to her senses and held the door open for him, and being a man of his word, he came back with an autograph for her. Of course, I did not want to bother him anymore after that, but I just reached out and had to shake his hand. And I said, "Mr. Cash, it's an honor to meet you, and thank you for not having my wife hauled off." I hear the train coming round the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. Time keeps dragging on. I hear the train coming on down to San Antonio. Hey, when I was just a baby, Mama told me, "Son, Always be a good boy, don't you ever play with a gun. I shot a man in Reno, just watch him die. I hear the train a coming, hang my head and cry. And probably rich folks drinking fancy dining cars, probably sipping whiskey and they're smoking big cigars. I know I had it coming, Lord knows I can't be free. That train keeps a moving, Lord, that tortures me. They free me from this prison, railroad train was mine. Maybe I'm moving on a little farther down the line, oh, far from Folsom Prison, where I long to stay. I'll lick that lonesome whistle, blow my blues away. All right. Kathy got so quickly, she got weak on the whistle on the end.
It's okay. So Kathy, you are now officially become a guest also on the Chat and Chill show. Definitely with that song. Definitely, she can play the whistle. Yes. I didn't know if she'd do it or not. So I was fishing to see if she would.
Yeah, she's always up for having some fun. And you know, when I first started doing this, we're coming up on a year. January 29th will be 1 year that we've been doing this. And I started out doing it. I was in the back bedroom back there, just sitting back there with my acoustic and my ring light, my phone. And I did a couple shows back there, and I decided, you know, I want to add the PA to it because I just like the sound a lot better.
Right.
It makes it a better experience for me personally when I'm sitting here in the studio, and the sound fills the whole room. So anyway, I moved it down here, and then I knew I was really liking it. I was really enjoying it, and I also realized that it was going to take up a lot of time. And so I thought I seen an opportunity to have something that me and Kathy could bond on, versus just me doing something, and then she has to find something to do with that time and becoming resentful of it.
Right.
I actually thought it through on the front end. I said, well, I'd rather make her a part of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Resent, you know, and this not that she necessarily would resent it in a sense in that way, but we can't help it. Something takes up somebody else's time that we're not getting. It has a tendency. We have a tendency to resent it. That's just human nature, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
But I just kind of thought it through, and by bringing her in and making her part of it, it makes it a lot easier. We had no idea how we were going to do it. She said she didn't want to be on the camera. I said, that's all right. I love the camera, so I'm going to stay on here. You know, I find that with people. Some people like it. Some people like it. They enjoy it. I always love being on the stage. People say, why don't you come out and listen to a band? I said, yeah. I'll come out and listen to a few songs and I'm ready to go. And they said, well, you know, you go and do whole shows. I said, yeah, I'm on the stage.
Yeah, that's different.
Sorry. I like being the center of attention. But you know, I'm human. You know, some humans are like that. Some humans are not like that. Some humans don't want to be, they don't even want their picture on here, you know.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
I mean, I don't understand it, but I don't hold that against them either, you know.
Well, you've helped me a whole lot.
Yeah, and I've helped Kathy kind of come out of her shyness. And she's never been really shy. Don't get me wrong, but and as far as the internet part, I got her to get her account off of private. That was one thing. That was a big step.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Oh, thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you for that. Hey, Kendrick, welcome in. So, yeah. Getting that off private was probably a feat. but her commentary off camera, like reinforcing the show, makes the show. I think so. It does.
And this is something that's so funny about that, because when we started, we had no idea what we were going to do, and that just kind of happened. That she really didn't even think y'all could hear her talking.
Oh, yeah, we do. We do. We hear you, Kathey. Just like the whistle.
The phone was picking up, but anyway, that was all interesting. We talked about all that and everything, and the way it's come about. And the interesting part, what I've noticed, is that I noticed a lot of other musicians that doing the same thing. Afterwards, we started. I noticed.
Having couples.
I won't call anybody out, but I've seen several more where I run up on a guy sitting there playing his guitar, and his wife's sitting over on the side, and she's just talking away on it, and I think, hey, that's just like our show,
Yeah.
And so maybe I helped start a little trend or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
Or maybe it was already started, and I just fell into it. We never know, do we?
No, we don't.
Oh, thank you so much for the follow. And somehow comments got filtered. I just saw a message. Yuke says, sorry, I'm missing this at the doctor with the, oh, I'm sorry. Hey, you know what? You'll be able to catch it. We'll hopefully make it where you can catch it again, Yuke. You two inspire many of us. Let's see. I'm trying to see what else we got going here. And comments. I forgot the appropriate comments. If you have a question, you need to throw that in here so I can ask. Okay, folks? But that's interesting that others are imitating your format. I see that too sometimes. When I started this, my anniversary it's funny. Yours is January 29th. Mine's December 29th.
Oh, we darn.
Oh.
Yeah,
I went solo December 29th.
Before I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, I also got my birthday coming up in January. My birthday was a week before that, and that's when I decided. I said, I'm going to go live. It was the week after my birthday. I said, yeah, I did that whole thing. When I get 1,000, I'll go live. Okay.
Yeah.
1,000 came and went. I didn't go live. I got close to 5,000. I said, when I get 5,000, I'm going to go live. 5,000 came and went, and I didn't go live. It got to 10,000 before I decided I would go live. And, that's 10 times the minimum requirement right there.
Right. I know that with my main account, I got that first 1,000 pretty quickly. And I'm like, I can go live. And I'm like, well, no, it's near the 4th of July. It's a holiday. I'm not primed. I don't know what I do. You know how you talk yourself out of it.
Right.
And then finally, some people are like, well, come up. And I started going in other people's lives. And I started getting used to it. And then I started doing some things with them. And then, kind of all broke off. And then I was like, okay, you're solo. And I'm like, okay, let's just take it month by month and see if we can do this. And here it's going to be a year, that I made it happen. And I'm like, okay, but I couldn't do it alone. I have some great moderators, some people, supporters down there that have kept me going. And if they hadn't been, I might have fell off and said, whatever. So I thank you for that, everyone, for keeping me going. And I did see that artist down there made a comment about an anniversary special. Yeah, I'm not just having one show. I'm having the whole last week of December is going to be a special because people are in different time zones. That way, I'm do the Tuesday and then I'll do the Thursday because people have different, and some people can make both, but some people are like, no, this one's better for me because I do a night show and then I do a day show. And you do a day and a night every day unless you're sick, right? But we're gonna have a big celebration the end of the month. We're gonna, So you're Bob and Kathey. You're both welcome to come back. Definitely for that. It's gonna be informal, open boxes. We're just gonna some games and prizes and just kind of reminisce. And if I could get creative, if I find the time, I might find some flashbacks. But we'll see. I don't know. But it's been an exciting year. It has been. It has been.
The one that got me kind of started doing lives, believe it or not, was, and you may know him. He said, "You might be a Cajun."
Yes, I know him. Yeah, on my main account. Yeah.
Yeah. He would have this deal like this. They still do it. I see him occasionally, where he gets boxes open and they do 5,000 taps on each one, and they move to the other one's box and go on and so forth.
Oh,
And
okay.
he invited me into that one morning, and I was sitting here drinking coffee and thinking, well, what the heck, why not? And so I jumped in there with him and talked a little bit, and he said, you should come back tomorrow and bring your guitar, and let's do it. So I did. I went in there. So he kind of coached me a little. He said, listen, he said, when we get done, he said, you just stay on live. He said, you just stay on and keep playing as long as you want.
Uh-huh.
And so I did. Stayed on for about an hour or so, first time, and got a lot of people. They even some of them even came back, and everything, and it felt pretty good. So I was hooked. Then that was all it took. That was this live stuff's like the most powerful drug you've ever taken. Once you get started doing it, you can't stop.
Right. And even in all my personal chaotic life, I've still managed to keep my show going. Now I may have to take a day off once in a while here and there, but just like you do, like life is life. There we can't just put on reruns here.
That's right.
Here we can't put reruns on a live. Just saying, but or repeats as they call them over on the other side of the pond. But we don't have that luxury to do that. However, there's scammers who do, who'll steal your live and repeat. One of my friends has had that. But anyway, nevertheless, the average person doesn't have that. Let's say that. And there's something. You're right. It's addicting. That it's like, okay, I gotta keep the show going. I gotta keep the show going. And you do, and yes, and even when some shows maybe seem like they're a little better than others because I don't know, for whatever reason. But then when you have one it's like, okay, that was okay. Yeah, but it just keeps you going. It's like I have finally gotten to the point, I don't care how many are in the room. We're gonna have a show. It's gonna happen. Some people get caught up in those numbers and I'm like, yeah, I look at them. Don't think I don't. I do. But I'm not going to go crazy if I don't have 1,000 people or a couple hundred people in the room.
Right.
Yeah, whatever. That's for others.
The way I look at that, like what they're offering with those other things where they're going to put more people in there.
Yeah.
Like I said, the one night that there was all those people in there, they weren't doing anything. They weren't tapping. I wasn't getting more.
You're getting numbers. That's all that is.
It was just a number, yeah. And I decided then, if they're not going to be interactive, I don't really need them.
You don't need them.
Hey, I played bars for nothing but tables and chairs. I don't like bragging about it, but it's
Yeah, start somewhere, right? Even if it's tables and chairs.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I heard the guitar. I'm sure they would.
With my arm. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Unless you guys have a question down there. I haven't seen any questions come through. So I've looked. I've seen. Hey, welcome in, cool. So maybe another song. Maybe they'll think of a question.
Okay. All righty.
Yeah. And your choice this time. I put you on the spot last time, guys. So just.
This is a Keith Whitley song. Where there's clouds don't mean there's rain. Tears in my eyes don't mean there's pain. Don't flatter yourself. I'm over you. Now things aren't always what they seem. You can't believe everything you read on my face. I'm over you. You heard I'm drinking more than I should. I ain't been looking all that good. Somebody told you I was taking it rough. Why are you making those stories up? I'm over you. if you've been around, could have seen me broken down, but not anymore. I'm over you. Now if I'm acting a little bit cold, it only means you lost the hold that you had on me. Now I'm over you. You heard I'm drinking more than I should. I ain't been looking all that good. Somebody told you I was taking it rough. Why are you making those stories up? I'm over you. I'm over you. I'm over you. All right.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Oh, whoa. Look at that. Lisa. Oh, wow. Oh, the farm. Look at that. Oh,
I'm talking the whole darn farm there, ain't we?
that's a farm. That's
a farm.
definitely a farm. So there have been all kinds of questions coming in
Okay.
about horses. And I saw that Kathey had replied. I'm like, oh, yeah, she could reply to him while he's singing. That's kind of convenient, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the way we do it in
Yeah.
our show. That's what we do in our show. She will
I'm
constantly.
sorry. I probably
No.
should have.
No, that was fine. That was perfectly fine. It was just an example of how you could be performing and she can still take care of business and keep the chat going. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. But anyway, there were other couple questions.
Okay, the horse's favorite treat. I see that on there, and I'd have to say bananas.
Yeah, that's what Kathey said. Bananas.
Yeah, they love bananas.
They love bananas. And I think, like, what kind of horses and do you ride them? I think those kind of questions were coming through.
Okay. I have I've had horses my entire life. I got in trouble back in school for riding my horse to school one day, and they turned me around and told me I had to ride it, take it back home, and then get my butt back to school.
Yeah.
But I've had horses my entire life, and these two horses I've got here now, I had 9 horses at one time, and I got out of the horse business. I say, ain't doing it no more. It's a money pit. It just costs you money. You gotta love horses because there's no money in horses unless you just really make it big. It's kind of like country music. You play country music all your life, never make a dime until you make it big, and then all of a sudden you're rich, So, and I never reached that point, but I've heard of it, but I've never reached it.
Yeah, I get it.
But the horses are kind of the same way. You can get horses, you can love them, you can just enjoy them all you want and everything, but you better, because that's what you're paying for. Because the horses will, their value will never add up to the amount of money that it costs you to keep them alive. So you have to love them. So with that being said, we do love our horses. I have 2 old horses now. The one horse that I guess I've had here the longest is a stud horse that I got when he was about 6 months old. And what happened was a guy called me, and I was sitting at a table with my wife, who absolutely loved horses. And the guy said, man, I've got a 6-month-old colt. He said that a stud horse jumped the fence and bred this old 28-year-old mare. And they didn't expect her to make it, but she did. But now the colt's about to get her down, and we got to get the colt off of her. And the guy said he just wanted to give it away to a good family. And I was sitting there, said that in front of my wife, and wham, bam, next thing you know, we had a horse. I should have known better because I knew what she thought about horses. So anyway, that's my stud horse. That's Solomon. That was about 15 years ago. He's around 15 years old. Now, to get Solomon a companion, because horses don't do good by themselves. One horse never does good by. Solomon, being a stud horse and by himself, he ripped the doors off the barn. He chewed everything he could chew up. I mean, it was just constant. So I got this other old horse from my son. His name's Shadow. Now, Shadow is now 38 years old.
38.
38.
Wow.
Okay, do you know how, if you Google how long horses live, they'll tell you 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't
So
realize.
yeah, they don't live much more than about 25 years. If they, in exceptions to the rule, of course, he's 38 years old. There's
Yeah.
exceptions.
Well,
The
like with people. Yeah.
oldest horse has been about 50 years old. It's the oldest horse that's, I think, they have on record. I might be wrong on that, but that's just going from memory.
Yeah.
But he's 38, and he's just became my, he's become, well, they both have become my responsibility. It's kind of like, I'm one of them people that when I say I'm going to do something, I try to do it. I try to do the best, but my wife passed on, and I kind of promised her I'd take care of that one. And the other one, I just promised him I'd take care of him. So he's been around so long, you know, that
They're just rotten.
yeah, they're spoiled.
Yeah.
They're spoiled. We love them. We love them. That's it. And yes, I have rode them. I rode the black horse, the old horse. I used to ride him all the time. It's been a few years since I rode him, but I used to ride him all the time. The white one, I tried to ride him once. He sent me 12 foot flying in the air, and I came down with a broken hip. But
Oh, yeah.
but me and him, we got an ongoing thing. I told him that I was going to ride his butt before I'm 70 years old, and I'm turning 68. So me and he's either going to have to get older quicker, or I'm going to have to get younger quicker. So.
Yeah. So Flutter was asking that. So they are mostly, or I don't know if it's a question or comment. So they are mostly hay eaters. So do you mostly feed them hay or
feed them hay and grain
grain?
and alfalfa cube.
Okay. So like I grew up on a farm, but we only had we had one horse. We had a Shetland pony, and she was a whole. Oh my gosh, she was. Oh, she was a mess. But anyway, we could know why she was free. I mean, I'm telling you, she would buck you off no more than look at you. And I was a kid, and I didn't know any better. But we had mostly cattle, and cattle are expensive taking care of. The only difference is they can become food because we have beef cattle.
They can be switched into monetary value as well.
Yes,
So
like Regina. Yes, they get to see Regina in my video.
Investment.
Yeah,
With cattle, it's an investment. With horses. No, not so much.
It's just like having pets, you know, they're expensive pets, as they said. Yes.
They're pets until you reach a status that you're breeding race horses and cattle horses and horses that are trained for specific things.
Rodeos.
Then they can have some value, you know, but most people who have horses are just got pets.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what happened to my computer. It just went black in front of me, so my light's gone. So, well, whatever. I know we're getting close. We got about 5 minutes before the show's over. Yeah, and an artist says, Regina, yeah, I do that on my other account. I show pictures of the cows, you know, and we have this one cow. My mom has this one cow. She calls it not a nice name because she's not nice. She headbutts the other cows and hogs the corn and stuff. And yeah, she calls her. Yeah. So when my mom calls her a name, I'm like, oh, you know, yeah. But anyway, Regina, people like to see, I think people who don't have access to like horses or cows or whatever, they like to see that here on TikTok. So it's kind of cool to have those videos in you know, put in with your others as well as your singing and whatever.
What I try to do on that is it's usually just a video of me walking out checking on the horses or feeding them. And
they like to see the landscape
I'll take one of my cowboy songs and put in the background, and that way I get to promote my music along with it. And I've had a lot of comments, people saying that they like the outside videos and the more personal type videos. Most everything else, my music is all just snippets from the lives.
Right. Yeah, I've done that too here on Chat and Chill. I'll take highlights of our live, and I'll put to try to promote, you know, to put it out there that these people, you know, go check them out. And speaking of that, go follow Bob Lambert if you're not following him right now, because this is your chance. There are lots of copycats out there, so follow him. And I know your share policy or your privacy, you had like I had to share the video to you to make sure that you knew, like, to come and whatever.
Mhm.
And I understand why you have to do that. But follow him right now because he's the real deal, folks. And this is your chance. Otherwise, you're going to get lost in trying to find the right one. I'm just saying. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry I interrupted.
I do. No, that's all right. I do like to warn everybody about the other accounts, and a lot of my friends are on them, and I think some of them on are just as curiosity, kind of monitoring what he's doing.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
You
we've
know,
done
so
that
they
before,
so they can
monitor
report
people.
back to me, and I wonder sometimes if some of those accounts might be affiliated with some of those TikTok problem solvers. In other
Oh,
words,
yeah, could be.
create a problem so we can come be a hero and fix it.
Oh, it could be.
So
Could be.
yeah,
Yeah, that might have some.
it's terrible to be a conspiracy theorist, ain't it?
Hey, my computer's rebooting. Oh, yeah, but now it's
All
blue.
right.
I got blue in my glasses, but okay, whatever, because it's trying to reboot, I think. But anyway, everyone, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the gifts. Thanks for the likes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Bob, Kathy, thank you for being here because it's always fun to have you here. And as I shared with you before, the first time I found them online, as I can try to talk, it was really raining here badly well, it was last spring. It was just pouring and it was storming. And my dog, she gets upset with storms, and I'm holding her and trying to calm her down. And so, because she was all anxious, I was trying, it's like, and I found your show. And when I heard you sing, I'm like, it felt like home. It felt calming to me. And that's what you'll get if you go to their live. You'll feel like it's home. You'll feel welcomed. You won't be ignored. You'll be acknowledged. And you will it just seems like that to me. So I want to thank you both so much for being out here on TikTok and being constantly out here because it's hard to keep up. Sometimes you're just like, oh, this is going to be my last month. I am not going to do this anymore. And you know what? Something just happens and you keep coming back. And so thank you so much for that. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. It was our honor to be here again. Anytime, let me know, and we'll be glad to come back. And
oh yeah, we would love to have you back sometime. Definitely.
Alrighty.
Yeah, definitely. On that note, I gotta play. I'm looking at the time. I gotta play the theme song out because it's almost 12:30.
Okay.
For me, well, it's 12:30 for you too, almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know I haven't had lunch yet. You probably haven't either. So, I will play the song. We give everybody a chance to say bye. There's a little bye-bye song, and then we'll end the live. Okay, that's what we'll do. Are you guys ready down there? Here we go. I'm gonna play the right one today. I've been known to play the wrong one. Take care, everyone. See you on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Yes, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Definitely. Oh, that's cool, by the way. He was in here just a minute ago. I saw him. And then here's our No 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 song. Yes, have a great weekend. Definitely, Jeff. Have a great weekend. We tell them bye. They need a few seconds to say bye. They're doing it. Later, Gators. Yes, Lil says later, Gators. Yeah, bye-bye, Rebecca says. From east to west, CNC is met. Oh, well, thank you for that, Em. Thank you so much. Thank you for using that emote, Little. Yeah, Cool did write. I told him he could be musical director. He wrote my jingle for me. And he performs it, too. Okay, here we go. We're going to count it down, and we're going to end it. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone, have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone you're in. We'll see you right here on the TikTok. Bye.